Welcome back. We're joined once again by our friend Janna Zelinger, Senior Fitness and Nutrition Specialist from Fitness Partners Colorado, and wife of Marshall. She's here for another,
claim to fame.
We'll just throw that into your intro. Here to work out with us again on this Friday.
Today we're focusing on balance and stability to prevent falls, and this is something a lot of us work on with our older parents. But I would imagine this helps at any age.
Yes, I have specifically senior clients, so this is something that's really important to them, but it's never too early to start practicing this stuff.
All right, so what are we looking at today?
So the first thing I will say about preventing falling is not to walk on ice, because it's so unpredictable. No matter how well refined your skills are, it'll get you. When you're practicing balance as an exercise, the first thing is to narrow your base of support. So when we need more balance, we tend to stand wider. So if you're practicing, you bring it in more narrow. And from this point, you can go into a more tandem position where you put one foot in front of the other. There's still some in between there. If even that's too hard, you can go a little bit off to the side. And then from that point, you go to the single leg. If you can hold single leg for about 20 seconds, you're in a good spot. If you can't, you might need a little extra practice.
Hey, my ankle's shaking, but I also have on heels.
High heels
so
is harder.
Yeah, seriously, she's in high heels and she's just fine.
Flatter the shoe, the easier the balance.
The better it goes. Okay, what else do you have for us?
From there, we can start adding some extra challenges. If you're kind of advanced or you're still in pretty good shape, you might close the eyes in a narrow position. I recommend having somebody nearby or being in a hallway where there's a wall on either side of you. You start looking around when you're on one foot because you're changing the stimulus for your eyes to take in a different environment.
That's when I always go off. Like,
yeah.
I do yoga, and whenever we go on one foot, if my gaze goes this way or that way, I go off balance.
Time.
Yeah, every single time.
Or if you add a movement like arms moving around in different directions.
Oh, your balance is really
legs
good.
Moving around. Well, I kind of practice this from time to time.
That's what I do.
We all have a friend or someone in our family that just considers himself clumsy. And that could be for a number of different reasons, but can these exercises help someone who, say, is not old but just considers himself clumsy?
Absolutely. So we can always improve, right? No matter how good our balance is, we can always get better. So practice helps with that. These exercises help with that. If you're clumsy, there might be something else going on too, though. Maybe you have to take a closer look at your core strength. So there are strengthening exercises for the core, the hips, the muscles that you use during balance that can help improve that clumsy factor. And of course, focusing always helps too if you're distracted. A lot of my clients talk about traveling through Europe where there's cobblestone walkways and looking around, and it's a very easy trip hazard. So just staying real focused and aware of your surroundings. You always want to practice your balance in a room where there's few hazards like rugs to trip on, toys to trip over, things to step around.
Quick question about the practice. Some of the exercises you showed us, and I'm sure there are several more, but if you get a hold of those exercises, how often do you need to do them? How many times a day? Were you spending like 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day?
That's a good question. I feel like balance kind of maxes out around 20 minutes. At that point, people start to feel their bodies just give up, and they're like, okay, we're done. So 20 minutes is probably the max. You can break that up into different points of the day. If you don't have a lot of time to give to strictly balance exercise, you can break it up into brushing teeth and standing on one foot then. Or when you put lotion on, you're standing on one foot while you do those kind of movements in your daily life activities.
Yeah, I think incorporating it is something that we all can do, so then it's kind of like, no
little
nonsense.
little.
Just, get it
help
done.
us when we get a little older.
Yes, and beyond.
All right, Janna, thanks so much. You can find more fitness instruction from Janna at fitnesspartners-co.com.